walking the path. I'm so grateful that you're here. My name is John Jacob Mubarak. I'm here with my good friend Robert.
Hello.
And this is I Got My Miracle. Each week at Rythmia, we select one person from the field of miracles to step forth and represent what happened this week. And so, man, Robert had such an amazing story. I asked him a couple days ago because I was like, you're the guy. So I'm super excited to be here with Robert. I'm just going to turn it right over and say, hi, Robert.
Well, first, I've never been the guy before. This week has been largely inexplicable. I had hopes of healing and solving some deep, deep issues in my life, and came here with just a little knowledge, almost none, about what ayahuasca was. I knew Rythmia was a place of healing. I knew there was a program that would augment that. It's been far more intense and miraculously transforming. I feel so lucky. Everyone around here was just so filled with love and openness and support, which really, really helped me to feel safe. And I arrived here in a state of emotional vulnerability that I've never been in before, since maybe being a baby.
Because you're like, as a profession, what do you do?
I'm an eye surgeon, and I also do plastic and reconstructive surgery around the eyes and face. And
I asked that because it's like, that's not a position of vulnerability, right? Like your whole career is, I'm not supposed to be vulnerable. You're supposed to be the guy that has it all together. And
I'm in charge.
For you to come here and that
I'm in charge of that aspect of my life, but the rest of my life, not so much. Relationships, feeling my heart.
You told me when we were walking over here, I asked you kind of like where you were at when you got here and how you feel now.
So I arrived on Sunday, and that evening we had breath work, which is new to me. I hadn't really done that formally. I've done a bit of meditation and that, and was aware of breath work. But during that breath work, it brought on incredible emotions of sadness and just disorientation. I truly felt like a newborn baby that just couldn't process the world. Everything made me cry or laugh, and just this ball of unbridled, uncontrollable emotions. And I now understand from many people that breath work can be extraordinarily powerful, and they have these reactions. Sometimes people have even said it's hallucinogenic and out-of-body experiences. But for me, it was a feeling of loss and being alone in the universe, and of no hope, which was kind of the feelings that brought me here. We had breath work last night after 4 brutal but wonderful nights of ayahuasca and meditation. And I wasn't sure going into it, whether because I had some negative thoughts, whether I really made a change. But in breathing last night, I felt peace. I felt love, compassion, and power, strength. The strength that I could actually open my heart without my heart melting and falling apart, which is a blessing I could not have imagined, to have made a transition so deep and so powerful, and that feels real. And I go to feeling because my bent is to be intellectual. Any therapy that I had in the past was all kind of up here. And so to really feel the change gives me the confidence that it's real, as opposed to just an idea. And I mentioned that the nights of ayahuasca are rough, but it's like a huge rock tumbler that breaks off the edges on your soul and your heart. And I think it's only through such an intensive process that it's possible to have made such an enormous, enormous change in the blink of an eye.
You had shared with me when we were walking over, it was also beautiful, this idea of, you know, I had said something earlier about how the universe is a friendly place and the universe is joyful.
It was my response. I had a very special experience on the third night, which was a night led by a woman shaman. And one of my issues was finding love in relationships and finding love for women as a whole and the feminine energy, which I had, due to childhood issues and mother issues, decided that it was safer for me to excise them from my life to be safe. But the realization recently was that if I don't fix that, I won't have happy, loving relations, and therefore will have wasted the real opportunity of this life. Not that there aren't many other meaningful things, but I knew that was what was lacking and what was standing between me and a more meaningful existence. So that night was really guided more. I didn't know that ayahuasca was a feminine spirit. If I had, I would have said, okay, that's what I need. But as it turned out, the universe guided me here to the mother of all mother spirits,
the embodiment
of the great feminine divine.
Mm-hmm.
And I received in the middle of the night a healing from the shaman. That was spectacular. Part of going through this is holding your intentions and your goals, maybe not so much consciously, but during that I was just meditating, and she said, focus on your breath, concentrate during the whole thing while she was doing the ritual and bringing in spirits that wasn't introduced them by name, but they came into me. And at the end of it, one of my goals was to just feel the joy and the playfulness of love and life. It's not so serious. And focusing on that intention to feel the dance of life, the dance of love, the dance of joy. I got there. I was transported, and at the end, from my heart, I said, Waleska. That was the name of the beautiful lady who helped me. I feel the joy of the universe. I feel it. These are not things that I expected to connect with. And it's been profound to actually feel true joy, and that the universe wants us all to be happy, wants us all to love ourselves. Again, a new realm for me. And the comfort and power in knowing this led to the transformation that we'll see. Maybe next year I'll return with my new wife.
Oh, that's so beautiful, man. So beautiful. So you were also sharing in our closing group today,
mm-hmm.
A little bit about some of your physical issues.
Yeah.
Would you like to share what transformed for you around some of those things?
Well, I would say that was the lesser thing. I've had some physical issues, but none of them have been in any way really adversely affecting the quality of my life. Yeah, I've got some shoulder problems. I can't lift weights anymore. I need probably 2 shoulder replacements, which someday I'll get around to. But those weren't the big issues. I've had some physical pain recently that's been just a bit of an obstacle,
okay.
But it's a temporary injury. The physical has not been my greatest obstacle. Not my greatest strength, but not my greatest obstacle.
Sure. There was what struck me though is there was a moment, you said there was a moment in your life where you decided I got to do something. I got to
There,
change.
I had many years ago, going on 12 years ago, I had an episode where I was confronted by the fact that I was becoming extremely unhealthy, extremely overweight. And so that was a matter of kind of
So
addressing that.
Okay, got it.
But that was not a deep spiritual revelation. That was really just, am I going to stop the slow suicide of drinking too much and eating too much? And my answer was yes, I'm going to try living better.
And then this was another iteration of wanting to live better.
This is an iteration of wanting to finally live,
Mm-hmm.
of years of not wanting to live, of being afraid to live, of being afraid to feel my heart, being afraid of love, of being resentful of women, and just crippling things that prevented me from joy. Those are the issues I know I needed to fix this time.
And what was it this week, if you feel comfortable sharing, that what was there a moment, a merger? What had you move from there's no way that there's joy in the universe to I feel the joy in the universe, to move from a sense of resentment and anger towards women and closing your heart to being willing to open your heart? What was there a moment, or
It was a
the shift for you?
process where first there was more at play here than me. I think there was, the universe just put me in a vulnerable, emotional, open state of mind where I could not hold back emotion. I could not hold back love, sadness, empathy for all the stories here. Everyone around here who comes here, and I think largely everyone in the world, is carrying around so much pain and is either afraid or completely unequipped to get to that and fix it. Lord knows I tried with psychiatry for years and years and years, but that just kept me alive, but it didn't get me to thrive. So I came into this in a I guess I was just blessed, and I think part of it was the universe pointing me in this direction, forces beyond anything that I can articulate or identify. But I would say I was not without spiritual belief, but my idea of my soul was, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. We could just be biologic, or maybe there's more. Probably is. There's more, but I don't know what. And but that put me here, and I think there was a desperate cry of my soul, which had been buried, to just say, you're going to go there. You're going to fix yourself, because we're not living like this anymore. So there was that. And I have to be very thankful for that mindset. I think early in the week, people who talked to me was like, this guy's really emotional, man. He's crying all the time. And I'm like, that's not really how I go through life. So there was that. And then there was just the constant kind of attention. I made it with that mood, with that attitude of vulnerability and openness. I came to it and really wanted to meet women as they were, not as women I wanted to date, but experience their love and nurturing, which to me was kind of alien to me, because there was more the context of judgment and everything else from a mom who had a lot of her own issues. And coming to a state of love for my mom, yeah, I love my mom, but it wasn't like I love my mom. It was like, yeah, I love her. I know she tried hard, but I always knew she was damaged. And here I came to first have love for the broken little girl who had to become my mom, who was just not equipped to do it. And so early on, I was able to actually find love for that mom. I continued to make great bonds and develop real love and affection and empathy for all the women and men that I met here. And that active opening of my heart was definitely healing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a conscious effort of saying, I need to learn what this is. I hear women are nice and compassionate. maybe I can actually experience that for once.
I love that. That's such an important point, that it's a conscious effort. And I think a lot of people come here, or come to a retreat, or go to a workshop or whatever, and expect something to fix them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some action. I'm going to drink this medicine. I'm going to go to this psychic. I'm going to do this process, and I'll be fixed. And all of those things can create the conditions for healing. But you're the only one that can do the healing. I'm the only one that can do the healing. And it is a conscious choice.
Yeah. I think that's so true. In fact, you know, the ayahuasca, the plant medicine, there's a kind of a culture here, and it goes back to the spiritual and of the native South Americans and Central Americans who look at Mother Aya or ayahuasca as a spirit that will heal them, as a medicine that will heal them and do the work. That wasn't quite my mindset. It opened me up to a state of vulnerability. It strips your ego in a powerful and not necessarily fun way, but a necessary way. And then for me, it was all about intention and meditation, letting your thoughts dwell on the discomfort, see how you feel about it, and check in with yourself. There was one night where everything in the Maloka, the room where this all happens, was just annoying me in so many ways. But I was able to sit with that and check in with myself and breathe, this gentle meditation, and realize, yeah, this is one giant annoyance. And I'm fine. It's okay. And from there I said, you know, life is just sometimes one giant annoyance, and I can still be okay. And, you know, little revelations like that all through this week have built me up beautifully.
Mm-hmm. Oh, brother, I'm so grateful to hear. I'm grateful to be able to share this with people, because I think you're where you come from, the experiences, the way you're expressing it, really speak beautifully to, I think, what a lot of people experience: closed hearts, sort of armored up, and that the openness that you came. I just want to acknowledge you for your willingness and your openness. Now, so we talked a little about the medicine.
I want to just back up for you. I honestly was blessed. I had no choice. I don't know how this happened, but I had no choice but to be vulnerable. It was like someone had given me a drug that stripped away my ability to protect myself from my emotions. And that's how I arrived. So I was able to take advantage of that, and I don't know how to help any of you get to that state. It's not a state I wanted. I was not comfortable in it, but it was how I was when I got here, and it was led to a miracle. Maybe several of them, really. Well, at least several of them. Maybe.
So here's the thing: you don't have to worry about helping anybody else get to that state, because the truth is, and we say it all the time, the medicine starts working the minute you say yes. There's a quote you might have heard of by an author, W.H. Murray. The book is called The Scottish Expedition, and he was captured during World War II and taken to a prisoner of war camp. And he wrote this book on toilet paper and smuggled it out, got it smuggled out. The SS found it, destroyed it. He wrote it again on toilet paper and got it smuggled out. And because of that, we have this book. And one of my favorite quotations in that book is, he says, you know what, he talks about providence. And oh man, I wish I could remember the I'm going to paraphrase it because I can't remember the quote, but it's, you know, the minute you definitely commit to something, then providence moves in, and all sorts of unforeseen aid, assistance, things you would never expect to happen in your favor will happen the minute you are willing.
I think that is certainly my current lived experience. And so I guess it's the medicine will help you access maybe a lot of emotions. They may be painful. Just trust the emotion, sit with it, reflect on it. They have lots of other tools here, and it's not for me to tell you how to do anything, but I think that is true. It was the intention, that my intention was wide open and pure, and I do feel like I had intervention before I got
Oh
it.
yeah, the medicine was working. The minute you said yes, it starts. It really does. It's because it's consciousness.
You say the medicine, I say the spirit behind the medicine, but maybe they're all the same.
I believe so. I believe, you know, it is. I am an animist.
Okay.
I believe in pan consciousness.
Okay.
That all things have a consciousness because all things partake of the.
By the way, this man's consciousness is wonderful. He has been so awesome to get to know, and I barely know him, but his little classes, the little experience I had with his classes were just phenomenally enlightening, and he is a truly wise man.
Oh man, thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. And that was one of the another things about Rythmia is the classes.
Yeah.
You know, the program.
Yes, very, very helpful. Very helpful. I guess you can only absorb so much at once. Maybe had I known a little more or had absorbed more of the process earlier on, it would have helped me, although I cannot imagine a better progress than I had. I mean, it's been we're looking forward to finally having a full life after 64 years.
Yeah, baby. I love it. I love it. I'm so grateful. Any last words you'd like to share with anybody? Anything that you want to say?
My heart goes out to everyone. I wish everyone joy and peace. That's all I have to say.
That's so beautiful. I'll jump in on that. And from our heart to your hearts, we wish you love, peace, excellence, creativity, thriving success, health, vitality, all of the good. And we'll see you soon. See you next week for I Got My Miracle. Hopefully we'll see you at Rythmia. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings, everyone.